2, 3. We are not live. We are not live, but we are alive. Hello, lovely Gary. How are
Hello,
you?
Rachel.
And hello, lovely YouTuber. How are you out there? Leave us a comment. Tell us below. What have you just eaten for breakfast or lunch or dinner? Or are you drinking a gin and tonic? Or like me, my little iced latte here. You can see I've been drinking quite a lot of it. You've got your tea. Is it just regular?
I have. I've got ginger tea here. So yeah, cheers.
Cheers, chin chin, darling. So we're ready. Now, anybody who's just joined in is thinking, I thought this was an art channel. Who are these crazy people? So what we do, Gary and I, we sit here every single Friday. We bring you a tea time tutorial. What do? We do a lovely art project, and then we do a bit of mindfulness as well. And it's all kind of thrown in together. The idea is to give you something to give you 20 minutes of peace and calm and take you away from the hustle and bustle of the world. But also as well, we're not trying to make you into an artist. There are lots of amazing channels out there where you can learn to watercolor to the nth degree. We're not doing that. So what we're saying is, if you just got some cheap paints from the local craft store, you can join it in with us and have fun. And so we just try and do that. But we're also trying to get your creative juices flowing, because we really believe that creativity is so good for the mind, which is where the mindfulness comes in. So if you want to have a look in our playlist, we have got so, well, by now, I mean, when you're watching, it could be 150 videos, I don't know, but at the moment to date, it's about 50 odd. So you can just choose one. All the pictures are the same, but the titles are all different, so you can see what kind of exercise they are. And you can just play and just watch along with us. And we would love it if you would give us a like or subscribe or leave comments. It does help us to get our content out there into the algorithm. And if you're enjoying it, it means someone else might enjoy it as well. So it's about paying it forward. If you want to skip ahead straight to the art exercise, the time code is below for you. So we'll see you there in a minute. But if you want to stay with us, then you can, because we're going to do some mindfulness right now. We're going to have a little chat out with Gary. Now, every week, we have a little chat about our life or things that have happened, and we sort of have some words of wisdom. And sometimes we can get quite deep, and sometimes we can have some fun. My daughter is very much aware of my huge belief in the universe and messages from the universe. You might not believe in any of this nonsense, but I do firmly believe in messages from the universe. And I always ask for them on the side of a truck. You know that, don't you, Gary? Well, yesterday I asked for messages yesterday, and I did get a truck actually that went past me, and it said, you can trust the source of what we do, or something like that. You can trust the source of our communications or something. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm trusting in the universe. When I got back home, it'd been quite an emotional day yesterday to do with Dad's death and things. But I got back home yesterday, and I love it how my teenage daughter has actually now picked up on this. And she stood there and she said, Mother, there's a message from the universe. I said, where? Should the end of the drive? Like, what? And I very loudly said, I do love a good message from the universe. And this young man walked past and looked at us and go, nutter. So then she then pointed me, and you can see it's all, I don't know where this came from, but it's even got leaves on it. She pointed me to this, which had been left at the end of our driveway. Now, it was folded in half. So it was interesting that those are the messages that were left for me. And I wanted to read them out because I thought, that's interesting, because I think that's what we try and do. But it said, it's called the Aspire card. I've got no idea where this came from, but it says, 1, aim high. 2, support others and be kind. 3, be positive, tolerant, and have respectful behavior. And 4, show initiative. Now, the other ones, just let you know, were exhibit resilience, display excellent teamwork, help the community, be an academy ambassador. So it must be from a school, this or something. Act as a role model and do the right thing. But I thought, it's amazing, isn't it? When we go through our lives, we can sometimes question, what do we do? It's like this YouTube channel that we're doing, Gary. Are we making a single penny from it? No. We have people who buy coffee on occasion. So we get £1 every, 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. But it's not about that for us. No. We love this Friday thing. We love it when we get comments from people who say, oh, I loved what you did, and I was so stressed, and you gave me such a great moment. Isn't that fantastic to give? Yeah. And I think it was just like a message, because I've had, in the past few weeks, there's been a few little tests from me, a few little challenges. How high are you going to aim, Rachel? Or are you just going to go back down? low? Are you going to repeat patterns? Are you going to do this? Are you going to learn these lessons? Are you going to aim high? Are you going to be respectful, but respect for yourself? Because that's some things I think other people cannot respect us, and we can sometimes allow that to happen. You don't put your boundaries up strong enough. So you have to respect yourself, respect others, respect yourself. You give out what you get back eventually. I think sometimes people, they just get given things that they don't deserve. But eventually I think it all comes back round. I think in the end, it all comes back round. You get what you give. Which reminds me, the other day I was turned on the radio and that song was on. I love that song. You only get what you give. To give up, you got a reason to live. Listen to these things. Listen to the universe. It's always talking to you. But I think those are great mottos for life. Gary, what say thee?
I knew you'd say that. I just think, my God, you can't get it any plainer than that, as a little, a note on the end of your drive in black and white, telling you that is amazing. Blown away. You could analyze it to the 8th degree and say, like you said, it belongs to a school kid and they've dropped it on the way to school. But what I think is that the universe made that little person drop that. It fell out of their bag or whatever at that time. It's all synchronicity, and it's there at the end of your drive for you to look at, for you to feel good, prompt you what you need to do. And the way it was folded over, like you said, the first few prompts were so poignant for you.
Yeah.
And yes.
So, I love things like that. So all I would say to you out there, lovely YouTuber, is, as I just said, what else are you going to believe in life? Believe in the magic. I heard a guy the other day talking on a YouTube thing, and he just said, I look at my life as an adventure. And even if bad things happen, it's like, well, that was an adventure. That happened. I've learned from that. He said, see everything as an adventure, as a learning opportunity. And then life is so much more exciting and so much more enjoyable. And you have to, because there will be bad things that happen in life. And there are sad things, bad things, upsetting things.
Yeah. But open yourself up for the magic of life, which is the synchronicities and the coincidences. And you think, and the more you look, or the more you start to see them, the more they come along, and you'll go, oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah. And I love it. I'm driving today to somewhere. And before I set off, I'm going to go, come on, universe, send me a little message. I know you're going to do it. Send me a truck, send me something. And it's funny. It's like a little game. And there are some days you don't get anything. But what's brilliant about universe, I think she's a cheeky gal, because she just basically, you go, come on, send me universe, and send me a message. And she'll just go, yeah, all right. And you won't see anything. You'll go, well, I didn't see anything. The next day you get a little wink like that. I asked for a truck yesterday, but I got that at the end of my driveway. I just think it's brilliant. So you might think we're talking absolute nonsense, but give it a go, lovely YouTuber. Just ask today. Okay, universe, I've got this problem. Send me a message, send me some guidance. What do I need? And ask for it on the side of a truck, or a song playing in a shop, or you walk past and you hear part of a conversation or something. Just ask for it. It's amazing. Anyway, what else are we going to do today? Some lovely art. And once again, Gary threw this at me. Quick grab of the paints. This is going to be such fun. And this is a message for someone out there. This is a message for someone out there. So, Gary, take us through the exercise.
Well, I'm going to call it a Hawaii holiday festival shirt. This is about the summertime. So
it's a catchy title, that, Gary. It's a catchy title. Hawaii Festival holiday summer shirt.
Sort of that with, it's bright, it's colourful. So that's what I want you to achieve, something colourful. But actually, it looks like a little shirt or a little, but it opens up and it's actually a card. So you can write inside here, best wishes, Gary. So it also becomes a card as well. So if you're stuck, sometimes it's like, oh, I must give a card or say thank you or do something. This is a perfect opportunity for you to do that. So, okay, where do we start? Let's put this one aside. We start with a piece of paper, A4 piece of paper. And it is, it's got a bit of quality to it. So yes, you could use your copy paper, and I always say that, if that's all you've got, then use it. But this is a sort of a piece of paper, like a piece of cartridge paper. It's got a bit of body to it. You might even have a piece of card. So if you've got a piece of card, but A4 is the size I'm working from. So what I want you to do, first of all, now I've got to make sure Rachel is looking. She's now I just lost concentration. She is going to then fold over this piece of paper in half, and I'll just wait for Rachel to come back.
I forgot my ruler.
You've got your so the piece of paper, imagine it, you've got portrait, you've got landscape. You're going to fold it in landscape. So I'm going to get this in view for you so you can see. And you're going to fold one side to the other like that. Yeah. One side to the other like so. And then you're going to just put a crease down it. So you're just going to crease it down one side. So at the moment, you've got quite a nice biggish card here. Yeah. But then we're going to do a bit of, we're going to just do a little bit of measuring and a little bit of, just use a little pencil. So we've got a ruler, we've got scissors, I've got a little bit of glue stick there, and I've got my watercolor paints. I'm going to bring them into view. I've got my watercolor paints as well, and a couple of brushes, and some pencils and a pen, whatever you've got around you, what you can use. Okay, so Rachel, you folded that in half. Well done. Right, so open it up again. And imagine that you're just, so you've got it this way. So it's like you're looking at this line along the bottom there. That's it. So with your ruler, what I want you to do is I want you to measure from the top down. I want you to measure 2 centimeters. So measure 2 centimeters, or about, is 3/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to get you to measure. And we're lightly, not too strong a line, because you don't really want this to show up, but it's just for a guide. You're just going to draw a straight line across the top there. You've got a straight line, like so.
All the way across, okay.
All the way across, all the way across.
All right.
Really good. Okay, right, so next, with the piece of paper like this way, opening it that way, so have it on that way. That's it. You've got the line across the top. With your scissors, what I want you to do is you're just going to cut that first page along the top. So if I do it first, then you can do it. So you're just going to cut across along that line with a nice pair of scissors. So you get to the crease, and then you're just going to cut down that crease. So I end up with a piece that now looks like that. So when I close it, I've got the back like that. Okay. That's it, Rachel. Brilliant. Yep. Okay. Next bit of measurement is, so flip it over onto its back. So you've still got this line up here on there. So flip that over, turn that over. So I've still got that line there. So turn it over. That's it. Okay. Yep. And what I want you to measure is you're going to measure 3.5 centimeters from this side and make a little mark.
Yes.
And then 3.5 from this right side and make a little mark. So just make a little mark like that.
Yes.
Okay. Then you continue the cutting, but you continue cutting only up to the mark here. So I'm going to come along to the right hand side, and I'm just going to cut up to the mark and stop. Yeah. Like that. Done that?
Yes.
Then I'm going to do the other side, and I'm going to come along and cut up to the mark on that side. Yeah. Like that. So you should have 2 little bits that look like this. Okay. If we fold the card back and we then just bring these 2 little pieces, see these 2 little flaps in, that makes the collar of the shirt.
Love it.
See that?
Oh, I didn't bend them properly. Hang on.
Got to bend them down slightly at an angle.
I was making a little, what's it called? Little Japanese round neck, isn't it? What
a little Nero collar.
A little Nero collar. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Fine. Good. All right, well, I'm not going to stick them down yet. We're not going to do any sticking yet, not until we've painted it. So now's our chance to decorate, but we know that the collar looks nice. You've got a nice, really crisp white shirt. So if you just wanted to leave it as a white shirt, all you need to do is put a line and a row of buttons down the front, and you've got a crisp white shirt. You could even put a little dicky bow on there and give that to someone. But
This is such fun.
But we're going to make this sort of Hawaiian-y. What's that?
You could actually just like decorate these according to your friends. If you've got a friend who wears a Hawaiian shirt, brilliant. If you've got a friend who just looks at, wears a white, or they work in the city or something, give them a white crisp shirt, or someone. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. You
could even cut out, a bow tie or a tie and just decorate the tie and go down there. But we're doing festival. We've just had Glastonbury here in the West Country, and everyone's been there singing along, and it's all about festival. So it's a bright sort of shirt.
I was there.
You were there.
Watching it on the telly. I think it was Lewis Capaldi. bless him. But it was the first part of his set. And I actually stood on, you know, like a poof that you've got in front of your chair. So I stood on the poof and I was literally like this. And then Maddie was, and she said, "You actually believe you're there at the moment, don't you?" I said, "Like, I'm on somebody's shoulders. I'm on somebody's shoulders right now." I'm like this. Yeah. I was, Gary. Let's continue.
Well, I think, did she record it? So have we got a recording of this that perhaps we could put up on?
Do you know what she did? She did record it. She put it onto her Snapchat account. I said,
Oh.
"Can we not keep that private?"
No. Right. Back to the art. Back to the art, but we digress. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint the shirt bright colors. Now, let me just tell you about the bright colors that work together. So if I show you this one, which I'm going to do again, it's the blue and the orange. And I've mentioned this before, so you can go back and listen to some of my other art projects, but we're talking about complementary colors. Now, orange is the complementary color to the primary color of blue. So the primary color is blue, the complementary is orange. They work well together. They stand out. They give you that festival vibe. The other colors that work like that, if you do a background of yellow, you could use purple, or you could do a background of pink or reddish color and then use green on the top of that. So that's that complementary color. So I'm going to do blue with orange. I don't know what color, what do you fancy, Rachel? Have you got purple and yellow? That could look quite funky.
Yes. Let's go with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So what you need to do is, first of all, we're going to paint the background of the shirt. So we're going to open the shirt up. We're going to open it back up like so. And we've got the front section here. Now, what we're going to do is we quite often do this, and I love to do it. I'm just going to paint in a background of my primary color that I'm going to use. For me, it's blue. Rachel's going to use yellow. You might be using red at home, or a reddy pink. So I'm just going to put some water, just give it a little wash of water on that front page, and then I'm going to then use another brush, and I'm just going to dip in to my lovely color blue that I've got here. What color is that one? Well, that's nice color. And I'm just going to wash it over. I'm just going to give it a light little wash background of the blue. So we're not going directly onto a background. So open it up, Rachel, so that you've got it's open. So you've opened the page up like that. That's it. So we can keep that white. Now, why?
What am I doing? I've just put white on the shirt thing.
No. Open the collar, right, Rachel, open the collar, get the collar open as well. Yeah. That's it. And you're going to just wet the right-hand side of your shirt with some yellow. That's it. Yeah. Just a little wash of yellow.
Okay, done it.
Done that.
No major issues yet.
No major issues. Just a little bit more. I'd add a little bit more yellow in there.
Yeah.
So there's a nice little yellow background, and it can be splodgy. It doesn't have to be so even. I might even just add a few little. I like to add, you know me, I like a bit of flicking in there. Let that bleed a little bit. Lovely. Okay, right. Good stuff. So you've got a yellow background. Right, then what I want you to do is a nice yellow. So intense yellow, or for me, it's going to be blue. Just think about the collar. So you're just going to paint along the collar with the blue. So you're going to paint one side.
What am I doing? Purple? No, yellow still. Yeah.
Yellow. You could do yellow for the moment. If you think it doesn't look strong enough, you could put your purple color along there if you wanted to. But actually, Rachel, I'm thinking purple would really stand out as a collar, wouldn't it? It would look quite nice.
Okay, I'll do purple.
That would look quite nice. So and as we've spoken before about with paint, you know, you've really got to, if your paints have got a bit old and they've got a bit dried out, it takes a while to get them back up and getting the intensity of the pigment back again. So I think we've nearly got that, haven't we, Rachel? You said that it was starting to.
Yeah.
That's nice. And what's the color next to that one that you're using? Is that even a slightly darker purple there, or as it goes to a blue?
It kind of looks like it's blue.
Oh, right, like a bluey purple.
But that's strong now.
Nice. Yeah, those two colors, because if you make a purple, it's pink, it's red and blue. So putting a bit more blue in that purple really does make that really nice and strong. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you've painted one side, then flip it over and then just paint the other side of the collar. So you're just going to paint the other side of the collar with the blue as well. And do that.
Okay.
Fabulous. That looks good. Okay. Yeah. So now we're going to dry it. Before we do anything, we're going to give it a nice little dry. So we can dry it with our hair dryers.
Okay.
Okay, right. So now you're taking your complementary colour and you're going to just draw some flower shapes. So for you, is that nice strong purple colour. And you know, you don't have to be too accurate with your flower shape. So I'm just going to pick up I'm picking up my orange, you're picking up a really nice strong, and you're just going to draw on here, just going to do really sort of like just sort of stylized flower shapes. Nothing, you don't have to do, just sort of as we would as a kid when we drew, and we're just going to fill it in with a bit of colour, and you're just going to do them all over, and they can touch each other. You can have them on the edges where it's just half a flower. What are you laughing at?
This is just fun making this shirt. This is just silly. It's absolute silliness, which is what we are all about. We love it. I'm still thinking about me at Glastonbury on the chair. Have you been to Glastonbury, Gary?
No, I've been to Glastonbury, but not to the festival. I can, you know, pop up the road to Glastonbury and go to the shops and everything. It's got quite a hippie vibe there, actually. Or hippie, it's just that a spiritual vibe, because you've got Glastonbury tour. You can go. There's, you know, there's like 101 crystal shops, different types of crystal shops, all sorts of things there to buy and bits and pieces. It is quite amazing. But I've never been to the Glastonbury Festival. So, no, I have not done that.
No, I've never been. I think what puts me off is the toilet situation. Call me old. Call me old. But it's the toilets for me. I'd be like, oh.
Yes, and they have. I think they've improved on it. I think there's an improvement on it. But yeah, definitely there is. And also, if you're camping over, it's like I'd want to have a nice shower in the morning and things like that. And I'm not a roughic type camper. I have to have my luxuries with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I felt so rough in my life. I slept over for Wimbledon one night.
Yes.
On the pavement, and then watched the tennis the next day. I've never felt so rubbish in my life. Oh, it was awful.
Really?
Oh, just exhausted, dirty.
Yes.
You know, no, not for me.
No, not roughing it, not sleeping
Not
roughing
it, darling, not roughing it.
So what I'm doing, what I'm doing now is I'm just going in with, I've got a little Posca pen here, but you might just have a little bit of white paint or something, or you might just have a felt tip, and you're just going to dot in, just do some dots in the center of these stylized flowers, because they are stylized. They're not, you know, they are our impressions of flowers. They're not, we're not taking it from a still life. It doesn't matter. But we're just doing some nice little centers. Those as well. That looks nice.
Yeah, just use a bit of a white of acrylic paint.
Nice, yes. See, if you haven't got a Posca pen, which is really just acrylic paint in a pen, you could use just some acrylic paint and just dab that in as well. You might want to give that another little dry and just dry that off slightly.
I've got Rocket Man now. Not Rocket Man. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road going through my head now.
Yeah, and now I'm just taking a black pen, and around those little dots, I'm just doing a little black, just a little circle around them. So I'm just doing that. So I'm just doing, and that just emphasizes the centers of just a little bit more. I'm just doing that. Now's the time where you can sort of really start to sort of just play, really, just get your pens out, get felt tips out. And then now you've got that, these are like backgrounds. So now you can actually do just a little bit of detail in them as well. So you just start to bring them together also and do that. I've got a just an orange, for me, like an orange pencil, that felt tip, and I'm just going to re-emphasize these flower shapes. So I'm going to just sort of just draw that flower shape back in, and you don't have to follow the paint line. You can go over it, you can go, you know, around it, so you can just get, all right. You might have a green line, and then you can have, so now between, you could have almost like a green vine lines going up, so you can have lines green lines running through. Imagine like a vine, so you can start to just fill in those gaps between, like especially on the yellow, you could just fill the gaps in between, and you could just create some little leaf shapes running through it as well. So just sort of giving it that sort of floral picture feel to it. Nice.
Lovely.
Okay, so what you can do now is you can think about where your button stand is going to go. So you can have a row of buttons running down it, so you're going to go all the way through it. So I put your collar back, to where it bends across.
Like that. Yeah.
Like that. So then you take your ruler. Now you would think that the button stand goes down from the center all the way down, but it doesn't. The buttons go down from the center. So what you do is you slightly move it across, maybe like 0.5 centimeter, and then draw your line. So that's where the shirt closes, because the button now goes in the center. So now you can draw the button in the center. So hopefully you can see that. So the line, when I close my collar, goes to the side, a little bit to the right, and then I draw my button there.
See.
And I'm going to give you a bit of lessons on buttons now. You always have a button at the top to do the shirt up. You then have a button on the chest line. So where there's sort of like across the line, you'd always put a button on there, because otherwise you get that gaping along the chest. So you've got 1, 2. You can put a button in between that. So there's a button in between. So thinking and eyeballing it now, where are the rest of the buttons go? So thinking about the distance between. So then you can work out to where your buttons are going to go. Okay, so the next thing we do is, because at the moment the collar keeps springing open, you don't want to keep it springing open, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to stick the collar right down that you can't then open the card. So you want to be able to still open the card like so. So what you're going to do is you're just going to put some glue along that where those creases are here, but not necessarily on the end. So you're just putting it up there. So then when that closes, that bit sticks down at the top there. So I've just held, and I'll hold it there with my fingers so it sticks, but I've not stuck it to the pages, so I can still get that to stick across like that.
Definitely got messy hands today, Gary.
Yeah, they are. And then just hold it with your finger while it just sets. As long as you can still move. In fact, if you open the card up and hold it, then you'll see. If you hold that, that's it. And then lovely.
Yeah.
And then that should just stick. That does stick. That stuck really well, actually.
Yeah.
Very good. And then you can just write your message. Then you just say, happy holidays, or having a great time. There you go. What's that, Rachel? What have you said?
Yeah, my handwriting's so bad nobody can read it. Aim high.
Yes.
Holiday.
Happy holidays.
Life
Brilliant.
is a holiday. It's an adventure. Aim high on your adventures. There we go.
There you go. Voila. Lovely. Look at that.
And you know what I was going to say as well, Gary, when we were doing that is it's always important to keep going, because there are times when you can look at these things and you just think, what a mess. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to be like Gary's. It's not going to work. But actually, I'm really pleased with that. I've just carried on, played with it. Yeah. I'm really pleased. It's great.
you layer up, you layer up. You've just got, you do your wash on the background, then you do your simplified flowers, and then you then go back in with your pencils, your felt tips, or anything like that. And it's the layering up that then brings it all back together again. I mean, we've just used 2 colors, but if you want really to bring all the colors of the rainbow into it, then do it. Whatever colors you were seeing in the day, out in the garden, or you've seen someone wear bright colors, then bring them into your work. Do that. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, really, really good. And you could, I'm thinking, if you wanted, you could do a corner if you wanted to make it look into a sort of, a shirt shoulder or something. I mean, I know it's out of proportion, but you could if you wanted, or, add anything really.
Yeah,
And you could
absolutely.
even, you could even add another layer of card and put a waistcoat over it or something if you really wanted to go to town. Like you say, a tie. I know you could add a tie on there now. You could actually add some tie on there and stick it on. So yeah, I think that is absolutely brilliant. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yay!
Good.
Okay.
Right.
Let's come back to us. I feel like a proper artist now. Oh, that's brilliant. I think that might have to go on the old, yeah, it's going to go. I know where it's going to go.
Right.
Today. So it's going to go up there like that. It's going to,
ta-da! Brilliant. Well done, Rachel. Oh.
Tell you, that was testing with those measurements. For a second, you had me there, Gary. I was like, what? But we did it.
I knew it. And then I had to bring you into concentrate. Now concentrate what we're doing.
Yeah. I don't do concentrating very well. Well, that was a lot of fun. Thank you so much, lovely Gary, for providing these weekly tutorials, because I don't know where on earth you come up with these ideas. I mean, every week there's something new. I mean, obviously, I've seen a couple on Instagram. You've seen them. We're inspired by the people, but these are just great little exercises. So I do hope, lovely YouTuber, that you enjoyed it and that you're enjoying our other content. Please do go and have a look. And, I know a lot of people, Gary, will just skip through and just, think, oh, I've got it now, I'll do it myself. But try and leave it playing. Just leave it playing, because we often have little chats in between, and we might make you laugh with something we say, or we might throw in a pearl of wisdom, or you might listen and go, God, that's how I felt about that. So just leave it playing in the background and pretend that we're your friends and we're crafting along with you, because in a way, we're all just playing together in this great big universe, aren't we? So do have a good look and leave us on in the background. But and get the kids involved. It's the summer holidays at the moment, so it might not be when you're watching this, but at the moment it is. So get the kids involved, get the grandkids involved. They love playing with things like this. Yeah, lovely. So thank you so much, Gary. Thank you, YouTuber. And please give us a thumbs up on your way out if you could. Right, we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.